Coming up next on Locked On Devils, the New Jersey Devils are back on the road, and that trip kicks off back in Chicago. I feel it. Cue the intro.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yeah, apologies for the terrible singing. That's the name of the episode today, End of Beginning. It's the song by Dio. It's the song of When I'm Back in Chicago. It's a great song. But hello, my name is Zach Berman. Thanks for tuning into Locked On Devils, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network in America. Today's episode is brought to you by the lovely folks at FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. We're going to be previewing the New Jersey Devils' trip to the Windy City tonight to take on the Chicago Blackhawks. We're going to talk about the road trip overall and just what some expectations are going to be for this long 5-game road trip in which I will be in person for 3 of those games. And last but certainly not least, the contentious point of discussion among Devils fandom, the younger Hughes brother. So let's jump right into it. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, 8:30 local time in Chicago at the United Center. It's going to be a late puck drop for a game only in the Central Standard Time Zone. Well, thanks TNT for that. Oh yeah, it's a national broadcast. The first appearance for the Devils on TNT this season. That's where you can watch the game tonight. So yeah, if you're like me and have Xfinity at home, you can actually watch. Speaking of which, a little bit of a different backdrop. This is my my mom's office today. Been having some Wi-Fi troubles back at the Berman Cave, so hence the different setting. But the New Jersey Devils, 11-4-1, set to take on the 8-5-3 Chicago Blackhawks under new head coach, former Detroit Red Wings head coach Jeff Blashill. These teams both have identical records in their last 10, both 6-3-1. And the Blackhawks, after years and years of stagnation, a deep, arduous rebuild, look like they are on the up, finally. And that up is good for 19 points, which is currently first in the Western Conference wild card. So good for the Blackhawks, I think. It's been long overdue. Now, you might be wondering, well, who, if I am a New Jersey Devils fan, should I have to worry about on the Chicago Blackhawks? And, well, I'm glad you asked, because there's this dude, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. His name is Connor Bedard, and he is very, very good at hockey. Currently 4th in the league in points behind Macklin Celebrini, Leo Carlson, and Nathan McKinnon with 25 of them. Jeez, he has been good. Former first overall pick, franchise face for the Hawks. There were some discussions if they'd even have trouble being able to keep him, but this seems like finally the time that Connor Bedard has broken out. He is having the season everyone was excited for him to have once he came into the league. And yeah, he is a treat to watch. Just the only time I've ever seen him in person, keep in mind I'm not in Chicago, was the game last year, or not last year, 2 years ago. It was the first time Bedard ever played the New Jersey Devils. And Brendan Smith took him out like 5 minutes into the game. I think he broke his jaw. I was really sad. I wanted to see Connor Bedard. And yeah, that was a bummer, but he has been pretty dang good. A little bit of injury news for both teams. Looks like Frank Nazar. Ooh, that's a big loss for the Hawks. He was hurt over the weekend. Looks like he's not going to be in tonight, nor Jason Dickinson. But Nazar was scratched about 15 minutes before the game in Detroit, the Blackhawks Red Wings game on Sunday, and now that looks like it's a Connor Brown situation where he went from day to day to, oh yeah, now he's hurt. And no Nazar is a big hit for the Hawks because, yeah, Frank Nazar has been pretty good. 11 points in 15 games for Chicago. Who else do you have to watch if you are a Devils fan or a Devils coach or a Devils player? Andre Burakovsky having a nice renaissance season for Chicago. 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points, 15 games. Tyler Bertuzzi, hello. Welcome back to the spotlight. 14 points, 9 goals, 5 assists. Ryan Donato just signed a nice extension with the Hawks after coming over last season. Perhaps maybe a target for the Devils. No, instead he stays in Chicago. 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points. Teuvo Teravainen, the Stanley Cup winner in Chicago in 2015. Now back on the Blackhawks. 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points, 16 games. The aforementioned Nazar will not be playing. Jason Dickinson will not be playing. Couple other veterans, Sam Lafferty still without a point. Ilya Mikheyev, 6 points in 14 games. And Nick Foligno, 4 points in 13 games. Defensively, the Blackhawks, a young group for the most part. And the kids are where it's at in Chicago, at least on their defensive unit. Start with Louis Crevier, who is a 7th round pick out of 2020. 6 points in 15 games, plus 7. Not bad. Sam Rinzel, 25th overall pick in 2022. 3 points in 16 games, but nice to see for Chicago. Artyom Levshinov, the Belarusian Michigan State Spartan, 2nd overall pick in 2024. Still looking for his first career goal, but 9 points in 15 games. He's a +3. Matt Grzelcyk, the grizzled vet. Chicago has only gotten 4 goals from their defense all season long. Rinzel, Alex Vlasic has 1. And then Crevier has 2. The most tenured Blackhawks defenseman, Connor Murphy, is a -1. Rough start to the season, 3 points in 16 games. Goaltending-wise, not sure who is going to be starting. I would assume it is Spencer Knight, was traded over from the Florida Panthers. He has been rock solid. .926 save percentage. Good for 2.33 goals allowed per game. 6-3-2. If it is not Knight, it is Arvid Soderblom, who is 2-2-1 so far this season. Now on from the Chicago point of view, the Devils have been an incredibly challenging opponent for them. New Jersey has beaten them in their last 6 meetings. How about that? And the Devils have not lost at the United Center since 2022. The Devils are 8-2 against the Blackhawks in their last 10 games. And the Devils have not practiced in Chicago yet to this point, so I don't know what lines look like. I would imagine that Jake Allen starts tonight after Markstrom went on Monday. Obviously, no Dougie Hamilton and no Connor Brown for the first 2 games of this trip. The Devils will be coming home after Washington on Saturday before they hit the road for Florida on, Tampa Tuesday, then Panthers on Thursday. Oh, by the way, I will be in Washington Saturday, Tampa Tuesday, and Sunrise on Thursday. So if anyone is going to be down there, would love to stop by, say hi. Let's go Devils. Yeah. On the Jersey side of things, I think Jake Allen is getting the nod tonight. 6-2-0, 914 save percentage, 2.29 goals allowed. Timo Meier had a great game on Monday night. He leads the team in points over their last 5 as well as goals over their last 5. So, yeah, it might be Timo time once again. Please keep the mustache. It is awesome. The Devils, no surprises here, are led by Jack Hughes. People pay to see me play. Points-wise, with 18, 10 goals, 8 assists. Jesper Bratt, 16 points, 5 goals, 11 assists. Dawson Mercer, Timo Meier, the next two guys up. I wonder if, and I talked about this on Monday's show, are we going to see some switches in the top six? Perhaps Timo with Jack, Bratt with Nico, and I think it's going to wind up being Arseny Gretzky at left wing 2 with Nico Hischier and Jesper Bratt, and I could see Timo, Jack, Mercer at line 1. Everything else, I would imagine, is a holdover from Monday night, except for goaltending situation, which would be my guess, once again, Jake Allen. And this is a tough task against a speedy, up-and-coming Chicago team. The Devils have been a mixed bag against these fast young teams. They beat Montreal a few days ago, lost to San Jose, did also beat San Jose earlier in the year. I think it's going to be an interesting, it's going to be a fun game for sure. But, what do I think is going to happen tonight as opposed to, well, in addition to what do I think is going to happen on the road trip? Well, you're going to have to wait until after the break because I'll tell you what my expectations for this road trip are next on Locked On Devils. Today's episode is brought to you by our wonderful friends at Drip Drop. Yes, Drip Drop, the best hydration solution on the market. When I'm hydrated, everything just works better. My focus, energy, mood, even my skin. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power no matter what my day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top college and pro teams. I like using Drip Drop as part of my daily routine. I'll mix a packet in the morning before the gym or during that midday slump. I have a nice long road trip planned ahead of the next week or so, and I'm going to be drinking a lot of Drip Drop to keep me hydrated on the road. Hydration has become non-negotiable for me. Drip Drop helps me feel sharper, calmer, and honestly just better overall. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com, use promo code LOCKEDONNHL. That's dripdrop.com, promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits hard in November, and keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Yes, I will be traveling for Washington, Tampa, and Florida because of a couple factors. The FAA being the FAA right now, and the fact that my dad lives in South Florida. I spend Thanksgiving down there. Yeah, we're going to be moving the operation south for the next few weeks, and that begins with a trip to DC I'm leaving Friday, but the Devils will be there Saturday night. What do I think are fair expectations for this road trip? I would like to see them come out of this NHL 500. I think this is a tough trip with the injuries. It is a tough trip with some of the opponents they're going to face. Chicago is fast. Washington's a difficult divisional opponent. Tampa, obviously a Stanley Cup contender. Florida, of course, they're banged up, but I mean, they've won the last 2 cups. Their record speaks for themselves over the last few seasons. And then Philadelphia, rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen. This is going to be a tough, galvanizing task for this group. And I think that begins with a difficult, although ultimately satisfying 4-2 win in Chicago tonight. I believe the Devils will win this game. Why? I think the way New Jersey's top 6 matches up against the Blackhawks defense is going to be the difference. Now, that's not to say that Spencer Knight could stand on his head just like Ilya Sorokin did on Monday night to steal a point from New Jersey when the Islanders defense was not playing particularly well. So that is still, of course, a possibility. But I think the way the Devils played on Monday night was very encouraging. And I think that they're going to come out pissed off after losing that game because they know that they played some of their best hockey all season against the Islanders. So I like New Jersey to win tonight. It's going to be some Devils After Dark, 9:30 puck drop on TNT. Don't know who's calling the game. TNT has not put up their PR release yet. I would assume because Kenny Albert's probably following the Rangers. And the Rangers are in Tampa on the early game on the TNT doubleheader. I would assume it's John Forsland's crew tonight. John Forsland's crew had Anaheim, Colorado, in Denver yesterday. Yeah, TNT is back-to-back doubleheaders today. Interesting. But it should be a nice showcase for New Jersey and Chicago alike. Two of the biggest faces in the National Hockey League, Jack Hughes and Connor Bedard, going head-to-head on national television. What more could you possibly ask for other than perhaps an earlier start to this game? I'm excited. You should be excited too. Should be a fun game. And hopefully the Devils win. But before we go any further, I'm going to take one more break, and then we're going to discuss perhaps the elephant in the room, if you can call it as such. Because there's been some questions about Luke Hughes, and I'm here to put them to bed. Perhaps. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Next on Locked On Devils. Today's episode is also brought to you by the lovely folks at FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot and a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, gosh. I love that they brought Round Ball Rock back on NBC. Isn't that great? Anyway, this isn't about that at all. Devils and Blackhawks tonight at 9:30 Eastern. Let's address the elephant in the room, because I think he had a rough game in certain aspects on Monday night, and that would be Mr. Luke Hughes. Now, the younger Hughes brother has not had a great start to the season on the ice. If you're going by points, I think that has been tough. Now, I think his skating has looked awfully good. He's looked good in his back end, but just some of the decisions he's made have been, the spinorama pass that led to a goal against. Did not love that. On Monday night. That was really frustrating. But before everybody throws him under the bus, because there has been so much of that, and you look at his stat card so far this season, I know I'm going to be very Patrick Star. Look at it. He is 10th percentile in offense, 42 percentile in defense. Not terrific. He's 22 years old. And I would have loved him to not be forcing this discussion early on, but we're going to put it to bed right now, okay? Young defensemen are allowed to make mistakes. He's not going to be perfect. I have been too hard on Shimon Nemec. I have been Very, very much so. Way too hard on Shimon Nemec. And speaking of Shimon Nemec, after what he did on Monday night, tied the game with 4 seconds to go, I think you have to move Nemec onto power play 1 over Luke Hughes because the Devils missed Dougie Hamilton's one-timer. They missed the threat of that on the power play, and they miss it badly. Nemec has a howitzer of a shot, and I think the threat of that is going to keep teams honest because the Devils moved the puck well in the power play on Monday. They scored 1 out of 4. But I'd like to see Nemec get the bump over Luke Hughes because Luke Hughes does not have that shot yet. So I would like to see Nemec get the bump, but I'm going to chill out on Luke Hughes just because I think it is the prudent thing to do. I am going to also chill out on Shimon Nemec because I think it is the prudent thing to do. Young defensemen should not be treated like they're lifelong vets making mistakes. Oh, no, that can't happen. I mean, Dennis Cholowski, on the other hand, if he screws up, yeah, no, that can't happen. But Luke, Nemec, these guys are kids. And they're getting put in positions that perhaps they shouldn't be in right now, given so many injuries and whatnot. And oh my gosh, how are all 3 right-handed Devils defensemen out? Are you kidding? Like, it is what it is. There are going to be some good nights. Nemec looked great on Monday. He might look terrible tonight. He might cost them the game tonight for all we know. But I will admit that I am the first person that needs to be a little bit more patient. And if I can learn to be patient, then you can learn to be patient too. So I am not throwing anybody under the bus just yet. But with all that being said, should be a very fun game tonight in front of a national audience. There's going to be star power all over the place. I am excited. You should be too. The Devils are 11-4-1. This is a big stretch right before Thanksgiving. So much is said about how, if you're in a playoff spot at Thanksgiving, then you're obviously in a good spot. Yeah, let's keep it going because I like where they're at, and that's with them being banged up. So we'll talk tomorrow, possibly from the road somewhere. We'll definitely have some fun this weekend in DC. Still working things out with a certain former host of this very podcast. But with that in mind, we're going to call it a show here. No, it's a little bit of a brief one, but yeah, that's all I got. Devils Blackhawks tonight, 9:30 on TNT. I'll be tuned in. You should be too. And thank you for being the best fans on earth. This is Locked On Devils.